Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and we are doing another Chuck's Reviews After Dark. Today, I am very happy to bring to you um, Masterpiece VF1S Hikaru type from Super Dimension Fortress. Oh, oh wait, I'm sorry. No, that was a mistake. Today, I am happy to bring to you from the Takara Transformers Legends line. This is Jetfire. And for those of you who know the history of Jetfire, will understand why I had that moment there and was calling him a Veritech fighter. Um, few things right off the bat you should notice that are different than the U.S. Generations release. Um, Number one, um, Jetfire is a much brighter white, almost like a bone white, whereas the US release I've noticed is a cream color. Now I don't have the US release in hand, so I'm just going by photos, but this does look significantly brighter of white. The second thing, which I think is a vast improvement, is Takara removed or did not even place the chrome on the gun and the fast parts, super parts, whatever. Um, a lot of people, myself included, felt that took away something from the original generation's Jetfire figure. There were complaints about the flaking. In my opinion, I didn't like it because it made the weapons this very weird bronze color, and it just didn't work well. I mean, I love chrome. I think chrome is wonderful when it's done well. And what's hysterical is, for those of us in the States who've gone ahead and removed the chrome from the Jetfire's parts, this is the base red that's underneath. Um, Other than that, it's the same exact figure. I mean, as you can see, we have him here in robot mode. A little bit smaller than I remember most leader figures. Um, Also, again, going back to the beginning, as with most Jetfires done in the classic universe that are new molds, this is a bit of an homage to the original toy and the animation model. At some point, I wish they would do just a straight up animation model version, because while this is a cool looking figure, it's really not indicative of the Jetfire I know from the Transformers cartoon, and really doesn't even look like the original toy, which was the VF1S from the Macross line. The extended blasters here weren't there, but regardless. So let me give you a little 360 here. Um, Very Japanese anime look to this robot. Um, they do have the feet molded for the A stance, which I can't tell you how many times I've seen people pass on perfectly good toys because they can't do a appropriate A stance. But as you can see, I mean, it's just the white like the original toy with the non-chrome parts. Now let's pause and I'll give you a detailed look at the accessories. Okay, like I said at the beginning, basically the only difference to these accessories is the fact that the chrome's been removed, and you have this much nice deeper red to the parts, which is much closer to the what the original figure had. I mean, everything still works. You still have the rotating bit here on the back. Unfortunately, on mine, you can see a little bit of flash marks from the molding. Um, these are the arm guns. I really wish that instead of cannons, they went for the more squared off blast boosters that were missile launchers, but I can understand why. I can understand why. And here we have the leg cannons. And what I like is there is that little notch right there that it can fit over the landing gear. Also, if you've been noticing, there are holes here that these can combine in different ways. And here is the helmet, where I'll bring this in. You can see that basically this is what makes Jetfire go from his anime, his cartoon look to something more akin to the toy. It's more like a battle mask. Um, I'll show you his animation style head in just a moment. But one thing I do want to go back to is here's the main blaster, which really looks nothing like either the toy or the animation model. It is does have a spring-loaded missile that fires somewhat nicely. I think the springs had to be lessened since this was released in the toy year. But one thing I also want to show off right now is there is one quote-unquote main combination for the weapons. What you're basically going to do is peg the arm cannons into the leg cannons, just like so. Rinse and repeat with the other set. These are ambidextrous. And then you can go ahead and, using the holes here in the side, peg them in to form a giant super gun of doom. You plug that missile back in, and here you go. It's like a giant super weapon, like I said. Let's see if I can push this in a little more. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, it sort of looks like a flying weapon, whatever, but Jetfire can hold it, and that's about that. I mean, nothing really exciting to it. I know there were some complaints. People would have liked to been able to peg this whole weapon onto the booster section somehow. It really doesn't work going in from the side, but alas, poor Uric, it does not work. And here's Jetfire face without the battle mask on. Very interesting. It's a unique take on the character. Yes, it is very much a G1 look. Grant, I will admit again that I would have preferred a perfectly straight, slavish G1 animation design. Just because I think, due to reasons known to the American Transformers community, this will probably be the last time we can see a updated Jetfire figure. Transformation to jet mode really isn't that difficult. There's just like a lot of lining up parts. All the ratchets and joints are nice and tight, and basically, Jetfire does have ratchets in the shoulders, elbows, hips, knees. This thing can stand. Unfortunately, when those joints start to go, who knows? I also want to show that the canopy can open. I wasn't sure about that, and I was trying to get it to open, but once going into jet mode, popping everything into place, loosened up the canopy, but snaps shut just like that. Now, to attach the booster parts, what you want to go ahead and do, we'll start with the back here. Just go ahead and flip those tail fins down and go ahead and clip 2 clips here into those black slots, just like so. And now the instructions also show you going ahead and flipping up the tail fins back, just like so. Let me just make sure I have that on. Yep, that's on, nice and tight. If you're familiar with the original toy and the Macross Valkyries, usually tail fins are left down, but I don't mind that much. You can also go ahead and sweep the wings in. I do think that's kind of nice. And if you remember, when in the super mode, the wings were usually swept in because you were relying on the jet boosters here in the rear. Flipping the vehicle over, we do see the nice front retractable landing gear. And this is also where we're going to put on the remainder of the armor bits. These are the leg armors. Again, like I mentioned, nice little slot there for go over the wheels. Again, now the instructions show you can actually leave the leg and arm bits on for transformation, which I did the first time, and it was no problem whatsoever. I think you can leave the back booster on, but they show you taking it off. I think it's a question of pegging in a different position, even though it can rotate. Make your life easy. Now the arm boosters are a little odd, because if you notice in the cavity here, the arms are a little off-center. So you're going to be pegging these in to face forward, and they're not going to line up exactly with the fists and the forearms, because you don't really want to have it shoot each other. Now, moving to the front of the nose cone is where the um, main blaster will go. There is something I wanted to show you first. If you notice here, and let me clean up the image. Unfortunately, everything being in this bright red makes it a little difficult. You can see that there are little notches. Well, if you take the battle mask, which you can leave on for transformation, according to the instructions. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record. You can slide it on between those grooves and will basically mount to the front of the barrel. It gives it a little color, but it just basically looks like he has a face on his gun. Go ahead, peg this into the nose cone. And if you notice I'm doing this without the missile in, there's a good reason. I'm not going to say how many times, but I may or may not have shot myself in the face. Inserting the missile, bringing everything upright, and here we have, in its armored up super jet mode, Legends Jetfire. All in all, this is a fun toy. I got mine from Robot Kingdom because they tend to get things a little bit sooner than other stores, and I wanted to make sure I had this before most of the crowd. That's actually how I got my Combiner War stuff. But yeah, if you already have the American version, this is an easy pass. But if you've been waiting, I think I can recommend the Takara version of a Leader Jetfire over the American version, just because the brighter white plastic is closer to the original toy design, and you don't have to worry about that bright red chrome flaking off. This is your old pal Chuck for Leader Jetfire. We'll see you next time. And Happy New Year, everybody.